The autumn wind, a chilling whisper through the skeletal branches of Elm Street, carried the scent of fallen leaves and the metallic tang of exhaust. Olivia shivered, pulling her coat tighter, as Peter's hand, a reassuring warmth, brushed against hers. Their usual Sunday stroll, a quiet ritual of stolen glances and shared silence, was shattered by a scream. A woman, her face contorted in pain, crumpled against the faded brick wall, a crimson bloom blossoming on the sidewalk. Olivia's breath caught in her throat, her heart a frantic drum against her ribs. Peter, his face hardening with grim determination, was already beside the woman, his hand hovering over her chest. "Liv," he said, his voice laced with urgency. "Call an ambulance." Olivia's fingers trembled as she dialed 911, her voice a mere whisper against the city's relentless hum. The wail of sirens split the air, a cacophony of urgency that drowned out the quiet murmur of Elm Street. As the ambulance arrived, a flashing beacon of hope in the darkening dusk, Olivia and Peter stood frozen, watching the paramedics whisk the unconscious woman away. "What happened?" Olivia whispered, her voice shaky, her eyes fixed on the spot where the woman had fallen. Peter, his gaze glued to the window above them, shook his head. "I don't know. It seemed like she was pushed." The words hung heavy in the air, a silent accusation. Their eyes were drawn to a figure, a fleeting shadow, disappearing into the darkened apartment above. Cloaked in the gathering gloom, it was a whisper of movement, a fleeting presence that vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind an unsettling chill. "Did you see that?" Olivia asked, her voice a barely audible tremor. Peter nodded, his eyes narrowed. The arrival of the police, a grim tableau of blue uniforms and badges, did little to ease the growing unease. Witnesses, few and scattered, described a fleeting shadow, a whisper of a figure. The victim, once stabilized, remained unresponsive, offering no clue to the events that had unfolded on the sidewalk. "We'll investigate, of course," Officer Davies, a hardened veteran with weary eyes, said, his tone laced with a hint of skepticism. Yet it was the shadow in the window, the chilling silence of the victim, and the unspoken fear in the air that left Olivia and Peter with a gnawing sense of unease. Days bled into weeks, and the investigation stagnated. The police, hampered by a lack of evidence and an unresponsive victim, made little progress. The woman, identified as Sarah, lingered in a coma, her life hanging by a fragile thread. Frustration gnawed at Olivia and Peter, fueled by a growing sense of injustice and a gnawing fear for Sarah's fate. "We can't just wait," Olivia declared one evening, her voice laced with a fierce determination. "They're not doing anything. We have to do something ourselves." Peter, his face etched with concern, considered her words. He knew it was dangerous, a reckless gamble in a city riddled with shadows. But the inaction of the police, the haunting shadow in the window, and the fear in Sarah's eyes fueled an unwavering resolve within him. "Okay," he agreed, his voice low, "but we need a plan. We need to be careful." Their investigation began, a dangerous dance with shadows and whispers. Olivia, with her sharp mind and meticulous nature, began piecing together fragments of information. Witness descriptions, the timing of the incident, Sarah's daily routine, each detail a crucial piece in the intricate puzzle. Peter, resourceful and quick-witted, used his connections to delve into Sarah's background, her personal life, and her potential enemies. Their search led them to a charming little bakery on a side street, a haven of warm smells and sweet treats. Mr. Bennett, the gruff but kind-hearted owner, spoke of Sarah's dedication and quiet struggles, a gentle woman facing the demanding pressures of family and a challenging life. He mentioned a recent disagreement with a disgruntled customer, a man who had threatened Sarah after she refused to bake a special cake for his son's birthday. The suspect, Michael Carter, was quickly identified. His name, whispered in hushed tones, carried a weight of suspicion. A man with a history of petty crime, a short fuse, and a penchant for violence. He had been seen lurking around the bakery, his frustration with Sarah growing increasingly palpable. Fueled by frustration and a growing sense of urgency, Olivia and Peter decided to confront Carter. Their meeting was a tense exchange of words, punctuated by Carter's enraged denials, his voice shrill with indignation. He claimed innocence, his anger a flimsy mask for the fear simmering beneath the surface. Olivia and Peter, however, were not convinced. Their questions grew bolder, their suspicions solidifying. The air crackled with tension, the threat of violence a palpable presence. Carter, sensing their resolve, backed down, his bravado replaced by a nervous stammer. "I'm warning you," he snarled, his eyes flashing with a dangerous glint. "If you keep digging, you'll regret it." Olivia and Peter, their hearts pounding, walked away, the shadow of Carter's threats clinging to the air. They knew they were playing a dangerous game, but they also knew they had to press on. They had to find the truth. Their investigation, driven by a relentless pursuit of justice, led them to a hidden network of underground gambling dens, frequented by Carter and his associates. They discovered a web of corruption, money laundering, and illicit activities, a sinister underbelly hidden beneath the city's facade. Their initial investigation, focused on a seemingly simple assault, had spiraled into a much larger conspiracy. With each new piece of information, their danger grew. They were followed, threatened, their lives hanging by a thread. They moved in secret, their days a constant undercurrent of fear, a game of cat and mouse played in the shadows of the city. But they persevered, driven by a sense of justice and the flickering hope of saving Sarah. The climax of their investigation unfolded on a stormy night, as the rain lashed against the windows, casting shadows that danced like phantoms. Olivia and Peter confronted Carter at his apartment. They had a plan, a risky maneuver designed to expose the truth and bring him to justice. The confrontation was intense, a physical struggle fueled by desperation and adrenaline. Carter, cornered and desperate, fought back with a primal fury, his rage a desperate attempt to reclaim control. But Olivia and Peter, fueled by their determination and the memory of Sarah's suffering, fought back harder. The fight ended with a resounding crash, a sense of victory and exhaustion washing over them. They had captured Carter, but not before he had threatened them, leaving them with the chilling promise of retaliation. The shadow of his words loomed over them, a constant reminder that their fight was far from over. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Olivia and Peter delivered the evidence to Officer Davies. The truth laid bare in a chilling symphony of facts. The police, stunned by the extent of the conspiracy, launched a full-scale investigation, bringing down Carter and his associates. Sarah, slowly but surely, began to recover. The coma lifted, replaced by a haze of fragmented memories, a faint recollection of a shadow looming over her. Her life, forever changed, was a testament to Olivia and Peter's courage, their unwavering determination to fight for what was right. The story of Olivia and Peter, their fight against injustice, became a whisper in the city's underbelly, a reminder that even in the darkest corners, hope and justice can prevail. But the shadow, once a fleeting presence in the window, had become a lingering presence in their lives, a constant reminder that the fight for truth often leaves scars, both physical and emotional. They had brought down the immediate threat, but the city's shadows still held secrets, and their journey to uncover them was far from over.